What is up, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Ball, second upload in 2 days. Who am I? I'm feeling fresh. First things first, before we get into this video, what it is, I need to shout out a guy from the last video. If you want to be shouted out at the start of next video, leave a comment. This comment's from Hi. He said, excellent in-depth analysis. I've been on a few forums and I don't think some people actually know about the tactical side of football, or their knowledge is limited to a particular sort of player. This kid can pass a ball. With Cash and Denny pushing higher up the pitch at times, it'll be easier to retain possession. Coupled with the calmness under pressure, we could really be on something with Kamara. You've earned yourself a subscriber. Up the Villa. Hi, that one's for you, mate. I hope you're watching this video as well. And what this video is going to be is effectively the start of a 3-part series. It's going to be one today, one tomorrow, and then probably the last one on Friday or Saturday, depending on when I can push it out for. And that is going to be the chopping block. We're going to go through our defenders, our midfielders, and our attackers. And I'm pretty much going to be grading them all on 4 different things. So it's either going to be untouchable, safe, dubious, or chopping block. Pretty much who I think we could move on, who I think is possibly going to be moved on, is in a little bit of danger of being sold, and who I think's safe but not untouchable. So that's just going to be people that I don't think are going to go, but if the right offer came in, maybe. And then obviously untouchable, I think you will probably know who the untouchable players are, but we will get into that as well. So as always, if you do enjoy, leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, like Hi did yesterday. Leave a comment if you want to be shouted out at the beginning of the midfielder video, which I'll be filming later on today / tomorrow. And let's get into the defenders, starting from the back going forward. So starting off, obviously we're going to start off with the main man, Emmy Martinez, our number 1. He is untouchable. No debate about it. We're not going to be selling Emmy Martinez. He is going to be our number 1, probably for the next 3-4 years, I'd imagine, unless something strange and wacky and wonderful happen. He's contracted to Aston Villa until 2027, so there's no worries about any contract disputes, anyone trying to nab him for cheap because his contract's running out. He is here for another 5 years. He played 36 games for Aston Villa last season, 36, only missing a couple through injury. Obviously, the last game of the season, he was injured / rested for the Man City game. Obviously, our number 1, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, probably top 4, top 5 goalkeepers in the Premier League. Is there anything else to say about Emmy Martinez than untouchable? I don't think so. Next up, we have the goalkeeper for that Manchester City game, Robin Olsen. I've put him as safe. His contract is due to run out at the end of June this year because we only signed him on like a short-term deal. But after that Manchester City performance, I do believe he is going to get offered another contract and be our number 2 goalkeeper going forward for the next couple of years. Obviously, he only played that one game against Manchester City, but what a performance it was to come in after being signed in January or the start of the season. I can't remember exactly when we signed him, but to come in like that after being sat on the sidelines for so long, it was such an assured performance. Yes, he conceded 3 goals, but that was against a Manchester City side who literally threw everything at us because they knew they needed to win the Premier League. He came for crosses, he claimed, he punched, he was confident. He has a big presence. I didn't realize how massive he was until I saw him play. I'll be more than happy for him to stay on as our number 2, hence why I have graded him safe, and I think Gerrard will look to tie him down for another year as well. And last but not least, we have Cinesolo. I'm sorry if I have butchered the name. Our young goalkeeper, he's contracted to 2023. Didn't play any Premier League games for us this season, but I think he made a couple of appearances in the Cup, if I remember rightly. I mean, this kid was getting touted by Celtic as well as Bayern Munich. He's had a couple of loan spells away from us. As I said, he is young. I think he's Finnish. He's not Finnish. He's 24. No, he is from Finland, and I think that he's probably going to be safe. I don't really see any movement on goalkeepers this season. We've let I can't remember his name, Okoye, I think, or something like that, Anos, go from the youth setup. So I don't think we're going to let Cinesolo go as well. I think he's probably safe to stay on as our kind of 3rd choice young goalkeeper that we're going to look to progress throughout the years and possibly keep him and progress him on to being the number 2 below Martinez if Olsen does get moved on. But I have graded him safe. I don't expect Villa to sign a goalkeeper this season at all. So moving on to the defence, we have the only ever-present defender. He played all 38 games for Villa this season. This is the only person in the whole of the defence that played all 38 games. I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to comment down below who you think it is. 1, 2, 3. It is the Polish Cafu. It is Mati Cash played all 38 games this season. He's clearly untouchable. He's probably one of Gerrard's first on the team sheet. Contracted to 2027. So he, again, same as Martinez, 5 years, recently signed a new deal with the club. He is our right back. There's no doubt about it. Matty Cash is Aston Villa's right back. He's progressed more this season, getting 3 goals, 3 assists in the league. His goal contributions are going up. And like Hai said in his comment last video, he's going to be allowed to go further forward without that kind of being caught out on the counter with Kamara coming in. Untouchable, Villa's right back, Polish Cafu. What can I say? Bring Lewandowski. And next up, we have Freddie Gilbert. He's been on loan to Strasbourg in the Ligue this season. He's chopping block for me, our first player who's chopping block. I mean, he's never really got a good run of games. I don't really understand because we signed him and he looked so good when we started playing him. Dean Smith clearly didn't like him. Gerrard probably hasn't been able to have a proper look at him because he's been out on loan. He hasn't actually had a look at him in training, etc., etc. He's contracted to 2023, played no games in the Premier League this season. Obviously, he's been out on loan. Whilst he's been on loan, he's been in like the League and Team of the Week so many times. I wouldn't be surprised if he made it in the Team of the Season. The amount of good things I've heard about him on loan. But I don't think, again, he's just not going to replace Cash. We have Kane, Kessler, Hayden coming back from loan. I think he'll probably slot in to be our number 2 right back next season because obviously Cash isn't ever present. And I think that we'll sell Gilbert, look to move him on for 8 to 10 mil, hopefully. Hopefully to Strasbourg because he seems to be enjoying his football there. And I wish him all the best. It just hasn't worked for him at Villa. Moving on to our other fullback position, we have the new boy, Luca Digne. Untouchable, contracted to 2026, played 29 games in the Premier League this season. That obviously includes some Everton games as well. Since he's come in, I mean, you can just tell the golfing quality. You know what I mean? Digne, ex-Barcelona player, Everton player when they were obviously doing a lot better in the league than they're doing now. And you can just tell when he's on the ball, he's so calm and composed. Defensively, he's so calm and composed. His crossing is outstanding. Only 28 years of age. So he's in his prime now for another couple of years, another few years probably. He could be a left back that I could see playing in the Europa League, possibly even pushing on to a Champions League level left back. In the next couple of years. Untouchable. He's been absolutely fantastic since he's come in. And hopefully he can just keep on staying fit. I know he has a couple of little niggling injuries. If he stays fit, I think he'll probably be an ever-present next year as well. Next up, we have Matt Targett, chopping block. He's on loan. He is contracted with us until 2025, which I think works in our favour to get a bit more money than we probably should for him. He played 33 games in the Premier League this season. That obviously does include his games that he has played for Newcastle. Now, he's due to come back to Aston Villa on the 31st of May. So as I record this, in 6 days' time, he is due to return from his loan to Newcastle. I would not be surprised in the slightest if on the 30th or 31st of May, there is an announcement that Newcastle have moved to make his loan permanent. He's clearly enjoying his football there. The club clearly like him. He's not up to Digne's standard. I'm sorry, but he's just not up to Digne's standard. I'm hoping that we can push them for 15 plus mil for him, considering how long he has left on his contract and the fact that he has been good enough to really push them up the table this season. I wish him all the best. No hard feelings. But I do think by the 31st of May, he will no longer be a Villa player and he would have been moved on to Newcastle United. Next up, we have probably the oldest player in our squad, dashing Ashley Young. For me, he is probably dubious. His contract is due to run out, much like Robin Olsen, at the end of June 2022. He did play 24 games for us this season, and the thing that might keep him at the club, I've put him as dubious because we seem to be in for so many defenders, and we especially seem to be in for a backup left back. And we have Christine coming up from the youth setup as well. He's been training with the first team a lot. I think Ashley Young might be moved into a coaching role. Don't get me wrong, he is a versatile player. I mean, this season I feel like he's played every position for us. He's played left back, right back, left wing, right wing, CDM. I think he even played number 10 one game when Dean Smith was still just struggling to get a grasp on what football is. Again, I do kind of expect him to be maybe transitioned into a coaching role. He is 36 now. And I think that we might be looking to promote a couple of young players. And I think we are going to sign another left back. Maybe it's Aaron Hickey from Bologna. I don't really know. But I think he is dubious. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe they will extend him for an extra year just due to the versatility that he has as a player. But for me, he is dubious. Next up, we have who everyone thought was going to be the England captain by next year, Ezri Konsa. I've put him down as safe. He's contracted to 2026. You'll notice this is probably the most controversial thing I've put in this video, but I haven't put him as untouchable. He's played 29 games in the Premier League this season. I don't know what happened to Ezri Konsa. I don't know whether he was a Dean Smith player and the transition to Steven Gerrard, he's just lost confidence. I think he's lost confidence. I really hope that he can get back to how he once was, because there was a time 9 months ago where I would tell you that Konsa's a better defender than Mings, but I don't believe that anymore. And considering we seem to be in for Tarkowski, I've heard Diogo Carlos from Sevilla, I think it is, been linked to us, or Athletic Bilbao, one of the two. I've heard Rangers centre back get linked with us. I've still heard Botman from Lille get linked to us. Joe Gomez. We're definitely going to be in for more centre backs. That is a given. We're going to be in for more centre backs, and depending on how many we sign, it's a 26-man squad for the Premier League. 4 centre backs is probably enough for a Premier League squad, considering we have Kamara who can deputise at centre back as well. And we're going to come on to the rest of the centre backs now. Konsa's form has been inconsistent, and he has looked sloppy at times this season. I get that players go through bad patches of form. I think he will be given this summer and possibly till January, or even the whole of next season, to prove that he can get back to the level that he once was. But I haven't put him as untouchable. As you can see, he needs to improve on that. He's still young. I still think he's a fantastic player, and I hope he can get back to how he is, because obviously he's younger than Mings, and I thought he'd come through and be our captain eventually. I wish him all the best, but we'll see. I haven't put him as untouchable. If an Arsenal or something came in for a 40-50 mil bid for him, would we hold on to him? I don't know. Next up, we have our captain, Tyrone Mings, untouchable. Funnily enough, his contract is only till 2024, so I wouldn't be surprised if we try and tie him down. He will be 31, so still got a couple of years left after 2024. Played 36 games for us this season. Untouchable. Captain. He started playing really, really fantastically. He does have these weird games where he just looks pissed off from the moment he steps on the pitch, and then he just plays like he can't be arsed. I don't really know what that is. I know he has spoken openly about his struggles with mental health, so hopefully with Gerrard coming in, I heard an interview that Gerrard done with Gary Neville on the Overlap, saying that he actually has therapists, counsellors, etc. Available for his squad at all times. I hope Mings can I assume that's what it is, and if it is any kind of struggles like that, I hope he gets through it, because when he's on his game, I mean, I can't believe he's been dropped from the England squad, first of all, for the Nation League that's come out. And Maguire's still in there, but that's a whole different dispute. But I think that Mings, he's clearly a leader. I heard another interview with Declan Rice on the Overlap, funnily enough, where he was talking about like the leaders in the England dressing room. Mings has only played like 9, 10, or however many games it is for England. He's only a recent call-up, really, for England, and he is part of that leadership group. He's a leader. He's a great defender. That block against Burnley that should be up there with the highlights of the Premier League season, non-stop, if they want to make a little package deal of this season, because it probably relegated Burnley, to be honest. Again, untouchable, no doubt about it in my mind. He'll be our captain next season as well, I think. Next up, we have Callum Chambers, safe, contracted to 2025 and played 13 games for us this season. I think he's really assured when he's come in. Obviously, he can step up and play CDM as well. He's played at left back and right back for Arsenal. So again, if we were going to get rid of Ashley Young, there's Chambers who can cover multiple positions as well. Like I said, Kamara can drop in, Chambers can drop wide. Mings has played left back in the past, Konsa's played right back in the past. Do we need all these defenders? I don't know. We got young players coming up as well. Like I say, safe for me. Fantastic goal that he scored this season, probably one of our goals of the season. He's been really good, really assured. He's a Premier League experienced defender, obviously with Arsenal for so many years. I don't see us moving him on. I think he'll probably stay and be a really good backup option as well. And last but not least, and this is a sad one to say, but Courtney Hawes, I think he's on the chopping block. He's contracted to 2025, which again will work in our favour when we're trying to negotiate a transfer fee for him. Only played 7 games this season. And like I mentioned previously, we're just linked. The volume of defenders that we're linked with at the moment would suggest that 1, if not 2 of our centre-backs are almost definitely going to be moved on. And I think that Courtney Hawes, you look at the other ones, Konsa, Mings and Chambers, I've put them all safe. Mings untouchable. I think Hawes is going to be the one to ultimately get moved on. A great servant for the club, a great defender. I have nothing against him. And I wish, again, same as, Target, who I put on the chopping block, Gilbert, who I put on the chopping block. I don't wish any of these players ill from their careers. They've done nothing wrong, but unfortunately, the project that Aston Villa are going for, to go to a top 8 club, I just don't think that they're going to have to move these players on. It's just part and parcel of the game. I'd like to see Hawes go to a good club that's going to give him the game time that he deserves. Whether that's I don't think it'll be in the Championship. I think he is a Premier League quality player. Maybe it's going back to Wolves. I don't know. Sort of play. Teams that have just come up, maybe like a Fulham that's just come up from the Championship. I'm not 100% sure, but I do wish him all the best. But I do think that he is going to be one of the centre backs that gets moved on. So, guys, just in summary for this video, Martinez untouchable, Olsen safe, Cinesolo safe, Cash untouchable, Gilbert chopping block, Digne untouchable, Target chopping block, Young dubious, Konsa safe, Mings untouchable, Chambers safe, and Hawes chopping block. If you agree, disagree with any of those, please do pop it in the comments down below, and I might even choose that comment to be the one that gets read out at the start of the midfielders video, which will come out tomorrow. Like I say, I wish nothing against the players that are on the chopping block, but Villa are a team that are pushing up, not down. We can't be stagnant. We can't stay the same. We have to be ruthless with the deadwood, and it has to be moved on. We're linked with so many different defenders. Like I said earlier, Tarkowski, Carlos. I can't remember his name, but the centre back from Rangers, who's a bit versatile. I think he can play out right back, left back as well. Joe Gomez, who's the one that we've been heavily linked with, probably only because Steven Gerrard's our manager. But oh well. I think we are going to get a centre back or two in. I think we're probably going to look to promote a couple from the youth. Josh Feeney has been involved with the first team quite a lot recently. So I do think that, there is movement going on. I think our defence is going to not be too much reshaped. I still think it's going to be Cash and Digne and Mings, but I do think it's actually going to be a different centre-back that's going to be starting with Mings next season. Who it is, that is yet to be seen, and I'll be covering all of the transfer news on this channel as soon as I hear it. So as always, guys, like, subscribe, notifications on. Comment down below if you agree with any of these, who you'd wish well, who you'd wish unwell, maybe if you have a bit of a gripe against some players. And as always, come back to the channel tomorrow to see the midfielder chopping block.